friend, welcome back to my channel. It's been a really long time since we talked about the wax that I have melted through. I truly feel like my wax melting has very much curbed down, mostly because I'm down to just using one wax melter. And since I think the last like 18 months at this point, I've really gotten back into candles on the first floor of my home. It has made wax melting go much slower. But good news, I'm not buying a ton of wax either, so that's helping me like just very ever so slowly work through my collection. But I've got a combination of brands, shells, and bags. So let's go ahead and start with the clamshells that I've melted through. I am trying really hard to do two things right now with melting. I'm trying hard to focus on things that are really old. So we're things that we're talking between the 3 and 5 years. 5 years is kind of the oldest type of wax that I have. And then I was working on things, and once I got through that were kind of also in the winter season. So I have two from Supertarts. I have this one called Miracle, which was bergamot, honey, Christmas cookies, French baguette, and tonka. I got this one in 2022. I gotta tell you, Supertarts wax holds for a really long time, so I'm not as distressed when I see old Supertarts wax as I would be with a different vendor, but this one was good. I feel like on cold, it didn't feel that amazing or cool and great, but when I would melt it, I really like the scent of this. So this one was not disappointing at all. And then also from the Grinch collection that she did a number of years ago, this was day 3, which was listed as molasses cookies, toffee marshmallow, and vanilla brown sugar. I think this is the last advent calendar that I bought from her, and I liked the model that she did because she would custom make scents for the advent calendar that weren't normally readily available. However, after this year, when I learned that model, I decided to not buy the whole advent calendar and just look for that purchase. That's how I ended up with this one. This collection I hadn't done the advent calendar for. I just looked for the scents that she was going to produce on a larger scale for purchase, and based on that made a purchase. But this one was really good too. I really do love, she does a really good bakery based scent, and this really checked off that box. So really happy to have that. And I also did a sea salt and sage from Better Homes and Gardens. It's described as blue cypress, sage, bergamot, black pepper, lavender, white cedar, and spice scent notes. A lot of things wedged into that. It basically read as cologne, but I liked it. I really have to say, if they had this as a Bath & Body Works men's care scent, I would love it, would happily buy some of it. So happy to have worked through one of those. Now we go into bags, and I was going through, it's actually really becoming a really cute tradition that I look forward to. It kind of feels like every quarter of the year, Lydia has a hankering to want to smell wax with me. And it always works out so well, because normally what I do when I'm trying to do a seasonal change is I go into my bucket of that particular season, I smell everything, and then I choose what I want to melt based off of how old it is and then what I like for scents. And when we were doing that, we discovered I had from 2020 a bunch of rainbow melts advent calendar wax that I had never cut up and melted. And that's why it had been sitting for so long. I am very lazy when it comes to wax melts. And even though they were just these big like gingerbread pieces or snowflake pieces, like these big cookies, I didn't ever want to cut them up. I never wanted to take the time to do that. So I just passed them over. And finally, I was just like, that cannot happen. You need to just cut it up and prioritize melt this. And I am flabbergasted at how powerful, how long each of these took me to melt through, because it had so much scent. It was so strong. It lasted a really long time. I haven't purchased from Rainbow Melts, I think, since 2020. And I cannot discredit the fact that that wax performs years after you purchase it. So I appreciate that. Here's what I ended up melting. I feel 95% confident this is the end of it, but I might be lying and there could be one more. So here are the ones I did. I actually really enjoyed all of them. So the first one I have is gingerbread cookie butter, which was buttery cookies and gingerbread plus a few secrets. Oh, this was top notch. Then we have Christmas hearth, which is orange spice notes from the kitchen, fir and pine notes from the Christmas tree, and an earthy smokiness from the fireplace. Also so good. Yuletide, Palo Santo, Christmas trees, and fireside. Nice combo of scents. Angel Tree, I was surprised by. I really like this one. Balsam and cedar plus soft cashmere. Yeah, this was nice. Winter, a little bit strong for me. Definitely a scent that I used to love, but I've grown tired of it. This one was a blend of sparkling clementine, pine needles, essential oils, and notes of clove. I think it's the clove that I find a bit too much. Baby It's Cold Outside was spearmint, peppermint, and pink sugar. Nice mint scents. Do you like that? And finally, holiday cookie baking, ginger snap cookies, Mrs. Claus cookies, and frosted animal cookies. So just a lot of cookie scent in there, also good. And the last stack is Broadway wax. And I will say, before I stumbled across the Rainbow Melts little pieces that I had to cut up and like melt down from 2020, I was still focusing heavily on my Broadway wax because unlike Rainbow Melts, Broadway wax does not have great shelf life. So I'm getting to a point where I had discovered that wax, once it gets to like the 2-3 year mark, it starts to not be as heavily scented. It doesn't last very long. And so that's not the experience I want. So I was really focusing on those, but I paused, did the Rainbow Melts, and now I'm back on track with doing that. So here's what I have. I have Red Mittens, which was cherries on snow, winter candy apple, frosted coconut snowball. I also was trying to, this one's only from 2024, but I was trying to use a lot of the samples. She used to be so generous with samples before she shut down. And sometimes I just like the low hanging fruit and the being able to get rid of a lot of bags of things all at once. So this one was Blissful Summer, Summer Linen, Sunshine, and Lemon, Blissful Breeze. Not my favorite combo. Night at the Fair, Candied Apple, Saltwater Taffy, Cotton Candy, and Hot Buttered Popcorn. This was nice. Circle in My Cream was Grape Creamsicle, Orange Creamsicle, and Candy Cream. I don't really love candy-based scents. Twisted Iced Tea, also didn't really love that. Then there was Creamy Bakery, Zucchini Bread, Gourmet Sugar Cookie, Confetti Cake Pop, and Country Cream. Pretty good. Summer Over the Rainbow, also not a favorite, but it was Jolly Ranchers, Skittles, Gummy Bears, and Rainbow Sherbet, which again, I really don't love candy-based scents. That's around the time that I was learning her summer boxes weren't quite for me because a lot of that had things like cherry, it had candy, and it also had, what's the other one that I don't really like? Hawaiian Punch. Like, I didn't really like those types of scents. This one was Wait For It, Cupcakes at Tiffany's, Lavender, Pink Sugar, and Cotton Candy Frosting. Pretty nice scent. Bigger bag, this one was good. This was Perfect Donut, glazed donuts, raspberry jam, and confetti sprinkles. Very yummy. Smaller one, which was just an okay scent. It was Wonderberry, Mulberry Frost, Alpine Cheer, and Candy Cane Craze. It was kind of just like almost generic. Didn't really stand out as being something super special. I have That Would Be Enough, which is Frosted Animal Cookies, Maraschino Cherry. Yeah, I don't love that note. Wild Berry Mousse, and Blueberry Cheesecake. I do like the blueberry notes though, so that kind of helped balance it a little bit, but it wasn't one that I was loving. And that's kind of the theme for why some of this wax got older, was I kept passing it over for other things. And finally I just said to myself, just melt it, get through it and use it versus having it waste away into nothing. And my last one from Broadway Wax was Fit as a Fiddle, which is toasted pralines and pears, vanilla ice cream, bread pudding, and raspberry jam. Oh, this one was quite yummy, really enjoyed it. The very last baggie that I have is Supertarts. It's from their Fake and Bake collection, which was Fake and Bake and Sweet Lavender. So good. I still have a few more from this sampler set that I bought. I really liked that. She was doing that for a little while where it would have a base like Fake and Bake, but then other little blends mixed in. That was, I think, fun. I wish there was more of that. So good, so very nice, and the wax is so powerful. So that's it. That is, I think we're getting like maybe 4 or 5 months worth of wax melting, maybe a little bit less, but it moves pretty slow, so I'm waiting longer to share what I am melting. I so appreciate you being here and hanging out with me for a bit of your day, and I'll catch you in my next video real soon. Bye.